Mr. Murthy, thank you so much for talking to Money Control. Very interesting session, sir, where you spoke about values and ethics. If you can also give us a sense of the current environment, sir. It is a difficult environment for technology companies. What do you anticipate amidst the challenges this year?
I think business is all about business cycles. Everybody knows, every CEO knows, every investor knows, every investing company knows that there will always be ups and downs. So I am not that much worried about the trough that may come. But the reality is most Indian companies, particularly Indian software companies, are growing pretty well because when there is a downturn in the US, they'll be focused on better value for money. And Indian software companies do provide good value for money. Therefore, my own surmise, I may be wrong because I am out of the industry for the last 8 years. My own surmise is that when there is a downturn in the developed world, uh, the prospects for Indian software companies will be better because the focus is on better value for money.
So whenever business slows down, freshers seem to bear the brunt of it. We are seeing reports of onboarding delays across the board by companies. Do you think this is fair? That this seems to be the low-hanging fruit approach that companies seem to take in such an environment.
I don't know if I want to judge because if you want to judge, you need to have all the data. That's what I've done all my life. All that I can say is what we did. In 2001, there was the internet bust. You wouldn't remember because you were born, not even born perhaps.
I was.
But anyway, what we did when there was internet bust was we had given offers to about 1,500 freshers, and the think tank in the company, we all sat down and we decided to take the largest salary cut for the internal board of directors, the next large salary cut for the next level executive vice president, etc., etc. And then we welcomed every one of the 1,500 people. And I'm glad to say we are the only company that did it. I'm very proud of it. Therefore, beyond this, I am not going to say what is the fair thing, what's not the fair thing, because I don't know the current
You actually
situation.
pointed me to my next question, which is the widening pay gap between the top management and freshers. You are someone who has written about this in the past, about compassionate capitalism, about how there needs to be a certain ratio for this. But the gap has only been widening. Even in the current environment, while we are seeing onboarding delays, companies, cutting salaries of freshers before they join, we haven't seen top management taking pay cuts. Do you think there should be some leadership by example as far as this is concerned?
Again, Chandra, I do not have full data. I don't know what the situation is. I am not given to judging any situation without full data. Therefore, you have to ask companies which know the real situation. I'm not the right person. I'm almost like Rip Van Winkle. So,
So in terms of employability, at NASSCOM, Devjani ma'am has addressed this, that freshers coming out of college are not employable. What are the key skills that you would tell the freshers in terms of those who are trying to enter the IT industry? What are the key skills that you would say they should be?
well, we realized as early as 1996, 97 that the the youngsters coming out of engineering colleges, mathematics degree, physics degree, etc., they did not have the skills to be very useful for Indian companies, Indian software companies. Therefore, we mounted the world's largest corporate training program. You've seen it in Mysore. On a given day, we can train 15,000 people. It's a 24-week training program. So in a year, we can train 30,000 people, 30,000 youngsters. So that's what we did. I can only say what we did. So I am not here to judge anybody else.
Thank you.
Another
Say about
Another question
the
from-
correction that we're seeing in the startup industry. Globally, the IT industry has taken a hit, but India is still very resilient. Where do you see this going next year?
I didn't get your question.
There's a big correction in the startup valuation.
Yeah.
And globally, also we've seen big techs taking hit, considering what is being known as the tech winter. But India is still very resilient. Do you see this persisting through the next year, or will India also give up?
You know, there is a theorem, or there is a belief in the investment industry that PEG should be equal to 1. That is, price to earning ratio and growth rate should be equal. If you are growing at the rate of 20% every year, then your PE will be 20. Now, that is all what I know. I belong to the old school of thought, and therefore I would say that the savants and the wise men and women of the venture capital industry should think about these issues. They are much smarter than I am, and then they should do what is necessary, what is right, because once you keep PEG equal to 1, then everything will be all right.
Thank you.
Entry
Thank you so much.
Entry-level employees have left many organizations, 30 to 40% of them. What should companies do in order to retain and maintain loyalty among these entry-level employees?
No, I think there are multiple things. One is a challenging work environment. Second, a physical environment that is conducive to the creativity, to innovation, and all of that, and then an environment of openness to new ideas, meritocracy, justice, speed, excellence in execution, etc. If we create it, and also if the leaders were to provide confidence to youngsters that this may be a tough time, but it's a dark case before the dawn. The future will be better, and that better future creation is the responsibility of the youngsters, and therefore they have a very big challenge, very great opportunity. That's
Last question,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Murthy.
thank you.
Have you tried ChatGPT, and what are your thoughts about
Oh
it?
yeah, I have used it, of course. My son introduced it to me a few months ago, and it's very good. What it's going to do is it provides you a certain knowledge, and then you can show your creativity, your smartness, your innovation by operating in the
What
next
was your
orbit.
last
So
question?
follow up on
Coders
that.
fear-
So a
should
follow-up
coders
on
fear
that,
losing jobs?
Sorry?
Should coders fear losing jobs because of
Because of
ChatGPT?
Chat-
No, it will never happen. We know in 1977-78, there was a thing called program generators. Everybody said the youngsters will lose all the jobs. It didn't happen. You know why? Because of a very important reason, and that is the human mind is the most flexible instrument. It can adapt very well. And all that happened was people started solving bigger and bigger problems, which these program generators could not handle. So ChatGPT is a good one. We should welcome it. However, we use ChatGPT as the base and then show our creativity, show our smartness, and show our innovation.
So would you call this .com era